As we take the cable car up Mount Surge to get some great views of Old Town Dubrovnik, the last thing you would expect to find up here is a war museum, but here it is. When you walk around the walled city of Old Town Dubrovnik, the centuries-old history comes alive, but you will find reminders here of the devastating Homeland War that took place from 1991 to 1995. It's the recent war-torn history of Dubrovnik and Croatia that we find in this museum. The museum is called either the Homeland War Museum Dubrovnik, the Homeland War Museum, the Museum of the War of Independence, or the Museum of the Croatian War of Independence. It is located inside Fort Imperial, which was completed in 1812. The museum is basically divided into 4 sections: the fall of the Dubrovnik Republic and the history of Fort Imperial, the Serbian-Montenegrin aggression in 1991, victory days and the liberation campaigns of the Croatian army, and a record of casualties to the civilian population and damage to buildings in the Dubrovnik area. This video will give you a general idea what the museum is like. Founded in 2016, the Homeland War Museum Dubrovnik features original documents, photographs, explosives, weapons, flags, recordings, and videos that show the effect of the Homeland War in the Dubrovnik area. A permanent exhibit called Dubrovnik in the 1991 to 1995 Homeland War depicts the city's response to Serbian and Montenegrin forces in the early 1990s and the return of displaced refugees. Here is some history about what led up to the war. Croatia was part of communist Yugoslavia during World War II, and after the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe in 1989, Yugoslavia was broken up into 6 independent states: Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro, Slovenia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Macedonia. However, there was a large ethnic Serb minority in Croatia who rejected the new democratic Croatian state. The Croatian War of Independence was an armed conflict that was started when the Yugoslav army controlled by Serbia, along with Montenegrin forces, attacked Croatia. The outcome was a Croatian victory, and Croatia was able to declare their independence from Yugoslavia. Over 100,000 people died in the conflict. Dubrovnik was attacked by the Yugoslav army and Serbian and Montenegrin forces who wanted to protect their minorities and have direct access to the sea. It was called the Siege of Dubrovnik, and it started in October 1991 and ended in May 1992. Dubrovnik was bombarded by artillery, and more than 11,000 buildings were damaged, including many in Old Town Dubrovnik. Fort Imperial had a very important role in the defense of Dubrovnik, as it was the only place in the hands of the Croatian army that was surrounded by the Serbian and Montenegrin armies. The largest attack on Fort Imperial and Dubrovnik was launched on December 6, 1991. The fighting lasted all day, and the fortress suffered extensive damage, but the few defenders in the fort managed to withstand the attack. The bombardment provoked international condemnation and became a public relations disaster for Serbia and Montenegro, contributing to their diplomatic and economic isolation.